Alright, people, this is it. Everything has led up to this point. It's either them or us, and I don't think it's going to be us, right? Isn't that what my character says every once in a while in battle? To make our way to this tower, I believe it's the same tower we were locked up in, Fort Drakon. Alright, to make our way there, we're going to go get these generals out of the way. Apparently they're some Darkspawn big cheese. So we'll knock them out, and then we make our way to the fort itself. Now, I believe the area around the fort is considered a new area to discover, as well as the rooftop of the fort, for that matter. And if you're going for trophies or achievements, this is probably when your trophy will unlock, because of these will be areas that you can only get to right here at the end game. Now, where we're at right here, I think this is the actual town of Denham itself. You know, the town square where we did all our shopping and the Nod Noble Tavern and all that, although it's really hard to recognize now because Darkspawn have tore it up, but I believe that's what this is. So this probably wouldn't be considered a new area. We also have to make a stop in the alienage, where we've also been, but the area around the tower itself, when you actually assault the tower, I believe that's considered new. I love Mana Clash. Those emissaries, and they're no joke. Okay, now this is the Ogre Apocalypse. There's no shortage of these guys here. I guess they saved them all for this moment. Now I can see why the towns are wrecked. These guys have been running around throwing boulders at everything. Toppling all the houses and dropping the rooftops, right? Okay, now there's, speaking of trophies, there's one for saving a certain number of your allies, and if you notice towards my mini-map up there, it's not that I'm not aware of this, I could summon allies in each one of these particular fights, you know, fighting these generals and whatever. But to get the trophy or achievement, you have to keep a certain number of them alive, and of course the easiest way to do that is just don't summon them in the first place, and you won't lose any of them, alright? But you could summon the dwarves, elves, mages, whatever. And they can help, if nothing else, you know, they can draw some attention. If you don't really care about that, it would make things even easier, but I don't think we're going to have a hard time here. I think the hardest part is one or two key elements of taking the tower itself, and then, of course, the rooftop, you know, the actual end battle. That can be kind of annoying sometimes.
Even more Darkspawn.
Okay, I think that's the general way over there. I don't know, is he a mage? No, he's a melee guy. Alright, that's good for me. In fact, let's see if I can get his attention. Or let me see if I can just throw my little old knockout powder in thin air, alright? Whatever. So these are actual bosses here. Of course, these don't have near the health of like a dragon or anything. I'm kind of glad for that. That'd make this a pretty tedious fight if you had to fight essentially several dragons on your way to the main dragon, you know. So more ogres. And even more ogres. That's a lot, and even more ogres. Wow, okay, that's a lot of ogres. If you're struggling with fighting ogres, then this is going to be interesting. I think we're going to get to see Sandal one more time later on, and these runes will come in handy, most definitely. Assuming you need runes, I think we're set with what we have. I already set my equipment a while back, went to camp and sorted through everything, figured out what I need for the end of the game, and just kind of went from there. I keep forgetting I have this marked for death. I don't even think about it, honestly. Not like I should, anyway. It could come in handy to keep a solid debuff on the enemy pretty much at all times, but I just don't think about it. And this place definitely looks a whole lot different once the Darkspawn get their hands on it, right? Alright, let's head to the alienage. Clear that place out. As if things weren't bad enough for the elves, man. They just keep getting the short end of it. You know, they didn't get any help from the soldiers or anything when things hit. They were probably considered the front lines. Completely abandoned. Nobody gives a crap about the elves, and yeah, that's just sorry, but we're gonna come help them out.
You? It's you. The Maker sure gave you the gift of good timing, didn't he?
Right on, girl.
There's a large group of Darkspawn approaching and the gates won't hold. We need your help.
Yeah, you guys just go get somewhere.
All right. I only hope there is time to...
They're breaking through!
Run! All of you! Run for your lives!
Run for your lives! Alright, well, we're gonna go kill it and kill it with fire. That's right. You go get to safety somewhere, man. I'm curious if we had a mage there. Oh, I think we did. Took a bunch of damage. I don't think he's dead, though.
More foul Darkspawn.
Probably get Morgan to throw the same thing out there, right? Let me see. Let me see if we can get rid of this mage altogether right now. Well, there goes the general. That's okay. That's pretty funny. Not like it mattered, but you know, if he's a general and he was a mage too, he was probably going to cause us some problems. So, no, it's just a matter of cleaning up all this trash. Ouch. That's a lot of archers back there. Kind of watching Wynn's numbers, and she's spamming heal and regeneration for Alistair. You know, he's the one requiring most of it. Yeah, okay, she's spamming the crap out of it. But I think we're pretty good now. Can one-shot most of these minions, and that's kind of surprising. I don't recall actually one-shotting everything. I mean, that's cool. So there's a lot to be said for just dumping everything into whatever stat is particular to that character. Like, say, okay, I'm going to build my guy like this, and then sticking to that. Don't deviate from it, you know? I'm gonna assign this job, but then I won't be able to do this, this, and this, and this. Well, that's what the rest of the party's for, you know? I always stress that, is, at least in Dragon Age mechanics, I found the ideal way to build a party is assign each person a job and really dedicate that party member to that job. When you veer away from that is usually when you lead to problems. You take away from what they do best and you try to ask them to do more, and they wind up doing everything not so good instead of one thing especially well. It can get to the point where it's so bad that the party just doesn't even function, and you're thinking, well, my party should be able to do this and this and this and this, but when combat comes up, nothing ever seems to fall into place. They don't heal like when they should, they don't defend when they should, they don't attack when they should, you know, and all this type of stuff. And it has a lot to do with build and tactics, you know. That's 90% of it. Even if you go into the tactical menu, if your character's not set up to perform a particular function, when you need them to do that, then they're not going to do it well enough to hang. So, you know, a lot to be said for party building. I guess you could say dedicated build, you know. This dude's trying to shoot me with an arrow point blank in my face, and he can't hit me. Okay, that's pretty funny. I mean, he's literally like touching my forehead with the arrow and still missing. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so that's the generals are down. That's all said and done, and we didn't need to waste any of our elf or dwarf or mage allies or any of that nonsense. I guess we could essentially call in Orleman's Knights, too. I'm wondering if there's a way to get to this point in the game without having recruited all of the allies. You know, like, not the dwarfs. I can't see not recruiting the dwarfs, because I'm going to go to Orzammar regardless. That's one of my favorite places. But, I mean, could you get here without that somehow?
You saved many lives here today. Thank you. Please, take this. I pray it helps you in your coming battles. We have to go. May the Maker watch over you.
Now, I believe if you're an elf rogue, or maybe if you're just an elf period, or a city elf, I think you have to actually be specifically a city elf. But you get like the second best dagger in the game, or something, for helping out here and saving everybody. that as long as, you know, she's left alive, she gives you, forget what it's called. But it seems like it's a gift from your mother or something, or I don't remember. I don't know. It's really vague. So I'm not a big fan of starting with an elf origin period because their beginning stats, and it gets down to like a min-max type thing. I talked about this before though. It's like a point here instead of a point there type of deal, or having a default ability in a slot, which is something that has nothing to do with my build. Like it's something I wouldn't use, so it's essentially a wasted point, which I guess towards the end of the game doesn't really matter anyway. 1 point here or there, but still. Pretty much because of that, I tend to avoid that. I guess it's the min-max thing, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I guess that's the point of no return cutscene. Like, you're not heading back that way. Okay, well, that's cool. Cleared all your homeboys out of the alienage anyway. I don't need to go back. So meh. So there. All right, let's do this, man. Let's just make our way to the palace itself. Okay, this is I call it kind of like an ambush. Essentially we get to take control of somebody in our party, whoever we left behind. Probably be fun to roll a shale, but
Beware! A large group of Darkspawn have broken away from the battle. They're charging this way. They'll be here any minute.
I kind of miss playing a two-handed warrior. I totally forgot about this, or I would have set Ogren up specifically as I would set up my own character that I'd be controlling. Put a little more thought into it just so I could get a taste of that. Well, actually, I don't have a mage here. To set a warrior up, you want, and this is a crucial part of your build in Dragon Age 2, which I'm kind of excited about that. We'll be getting into that before too long. But it's haste. Haste is absolutely crucial. It essentially increases your DPS by, I don't know, a good, what, 40%, 50%, or whatever, and that's huge. And then if you can find a way to buff your critical chance and all that, you can run through and destroy some stuff at a high rate of speed. But yeah, I didn't have my mages lean towards haste with this rogue build because the rogue has momentum, and they don't really stack. There's a cap on movement speed, and they're not all going to stack. And so I don't bother. Momentum is enough for me. And although haste would be good for the party, maybe to put out a little more DPS in chunks, I just didn't worry about it. I don't think we struggled. I mean, if you've watched this Let's Play up to this point, there was never any part where I said, "Oh damn, you know, I'm barely getting by here," type of thing. This build is pretty effective as it is, but haste is something to consider, just for the rest of the party. If not, you know, even if it doesn't stack with your rogue, on top of momentum and whatever else you got going on, it still can benefit everyone else. But I didn't bother with it here. But when I play a warrior, it's I make a beeline for it. I do that in Dragon Age 2 also. Just make a beeline straight for that. It's one of the first skills unlocked as soon as I can get it with Anders. Especially nice when you can run with Anders and Bethany for a while. Oh my gosh, man. Friggin', you got haste pretty much all the time. These enemies are dead before I can get to them. That's why my character starts to move and then stops, even though you don't see it. But the animation is like an afterthought. As far as the computer is concerned, the enemies are dead as soon as they walk through that door. That's pretty funny. Alright, Ogren running around with a sword that's bigger than he is. How cool is that?
Shall I send word that the gates are secured? Right away.
Ogren looking like a Dark Souls character. Running around with this big ass sword. That's too cool. That was brave of him to jump on that dragon's back mid-flight. Shit, if he misses, it's over right there. That's it. Game over. Oh, that hurt. Riordan's gonna pay for it, but damn, I know that hurt. He cut that dragon open from neck to tailbone. Oh man, sorry, dude. Riordan was cool, man. He actually was really cool. Okay, now admittedly, there are, I can think of two, what would you say, choke points. Two, really hard areas through here. And we have to climb up to basically two of these balconies. This first one's not so bad. The next one's a little worse. Mainly because of, I believe, some emissaries, you know, mage-type stuff going on. And just the sheer number of enemies. And the different types of enemies. They throw literally a little of everything out at you. And this is, if you've ever heard me refer in my build videos to Dragon Age testing your party build, if you have a weakness, this is where it comes out. This is where they show it. Finally got a Nightmare Codex to unlock. That's a cross-class, or the same class actually. It's just a mage combo. That's I'm surprised it took till now to unlock that. Interesting. Playing a warrior, I think I put a little more thought into cross-class combo stuff. Playing a rogue is, I guess you could say, a little more selfish, more of a solo assassin type thing. I mean, sure enough, there's team synergy going on, you know. This person helps that person helps that guy, and so on and so forth. And there's some cross-class things going on, but a lot of the tactics are reserved for just, you know, keeping everybody alive type thing. And doing their thing, but, things like Nightmare and Mass Paralysis and stuff like that, those are things that I would probably put more effort into. If I play a warrior class, in Dragon Age 2 is the same way. Put a bunch of effort into that. Actually, cross-class combos really come into play in Dragon Age 2. They're here in Origins, but you can get by without them a lot. And thus, you know, you see the Nightmare just now unlocking. That's essentially casting horror on somebody who's asleep, right? And although I did finally bother to pick those skills later than maybe I normally would have, if I was playing a warrior, it would have taken place earlier. There'd have been more of a effort towards that. Because warrior, you can put up some numbers, but they're not really rogue-like numbers necessarily. And so, you know, getting maximum damage, even though your healers need to be support. The same token, what offense they do provide, you know, you want to maximize on that. So, cross-class combos, you know, really come into play there. Like I say, if I'm getting by without it, I don't miss it so much. So, I guess I haven't put as much thought into it as maybe I should have. Maybe a little spoiled having played the game a lot, too. I mean, I guess there is that. Some things might be a lot more important if I was still, would you say, earlier in the game, you know? Well, that's a mob that I don't think I want to be stuck in the middle of that for too long. But then again, you can take out half a dozen enemies at once, then makes it more manageable. I really want to get that alpha out of the way. He's probably about the only one that can hit us. Okay, so it'd be nice to grab a few more on that. These guys with the white names, I'm not even worried about them hitting me, honestly. If they do, it's going to be just every once in a while. I'll probably get my health back before they can hit me again, type of thing. You get the mages out of there. Like I say, if there's weakness there, these hordes right here, they're gonna find it. They really are. You see, Morgan should not have been back there all that time, taking damage. That was essentially my fault going way down there and drawing Alistair with me. His job is to taunt and grab the attention of anybody attacking my mages. I'm not worried about me. I don't have him say, you know, protect me, guard me, defend me. I don't have him doing all that. I have him assigned to taunt and attack and harass anything that's bothering Wynn or Morgan. As a result of that simple... Oh, okay. Did anyone get that? Oh, that was sweet. That was at least 5. At least, if not 6, that was at least 5.
You have something to say?
Yeah, get out of my way. Get off my loot.
There is much to be done, and quickly. Do not waste your time on me.
Now, Morgan. Be hard on yourself. Just trying to pick up my stuff. Okay, well, he's just... Okay, well, they're just empty. Is that what you were doing there, Morgan? You're stealing my loot? Hijacking my loot? Pretending to hijack my conversation? That's what that was. Morgan's got a pocket full of Darkspawn daggers or something now. Now, as if that horde wasn't bad enough, I believe there's one more choke point up here, and this is where it gets really nasty.
Destroy the fiends.
See, way in the back there, yep, casting his buffs and all that. That's trouble, and I believe there's one behind him also. Mana Clash will take care of it. Fireballs are no good. No bueno. We need to get this emissary out of here. I don't care about anybody else. He needs to go. Well, actually, I'm glad he was worried about Alistair and not me. Morgan's really drawing the hate. She's doing damage. That's what it is. At least Alistair was over there that time, trying to draw their hate. That's cool. Kind of embarrassing to get one of my party members injured off some stupid stuff. And then the next trouble spot is essentially through these doors, somewhere up here pretty shortly. It's just it's even worse than this right here in a much smaller area. And I believe there's 3 or 4 mages to deal with all at once. And without Mana Clash, this can be almost impossible in some ways. Almost. But this is it. This is this right here specifically is what all this has led up to.
Cursed creatures.
And so what do we got? Okay, well, just throw a dragon in there, you know, just for good measure, right? Dragon Thrall. That means one being controlled by... Mind control by archdemon, I guess? Okay, I'm getting hit with magic already, and I need to not have that happen. Like, you know, that's all I have to say about the matter. Okay, I'm invisible. Stop that. Win. You see me over here? Hitting this mage? Win. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate that. And I'm cursed. Oh, not cool. Can't heal. Well, I'm glad nothing can hit me right now. Okay, I'm not cursed anymore. Sweet. Okay, these mages. I think there's more than just that one. So, he's definitely gone now. See what I'm talking about? A ridiculous number of enemies in a very small area, and then you throw in however many mages. Looks like we have more mages. Is Alistair being debuffed right now? It's really not going to affect him much anyway. I'm not worried about him as far as magic is concerned. One of the big reasons you just send his magic defense through the roof with everything you can find. Being a tank, it's funny, his weakness is probably melee. And just keep yourself on your feet for a second. Sorry about that. Good girl. I'll have you know I never sunk a point into Constitution for anyone but Alistair. I mean, Alistair obviously because he's the tank, but everything went into their primary stats and equipment. I mean, that's it. But if you look, they all have base stats as far as Constitution is concerned. Trying to think if I put maybe a point or two into Leliana or something. I don't think so. I don't think I put any Constitution into anybody but the tanks. And they fought it out in here, didn't they? Damn. Yeah, this is where epic battle took place. Okay, I think we have another boss right here. Alright, anyone thinking that Darkspawn and demons aren't related might want to rethink that. There's a Darkspawn Conjurer here, which I guess would be the equivalent of a Blood Mage turned Darkspawn or something. I don't know. So we're going to go ahead and give him a double taste of Mana Clash. And then we're going to get confused because I don't know what the hell is going on. Wow, he's already been hit with 2 Mana Clash and he's still got... Wow, that's crazy. And he... Oh, that was cool. Yeah, so if you ever see a Greater Shade, you know what it was. Or something. Okay, why don't you just run me all over the entire map? How about that? No, seriously. Why did you go over here? Okay. Oh, that's enough to ruin the immersion in the game. This is just a cluster. No organization whatsoever here. Oh, that's cool, I'll take that. So I'll have a few more points in dexterity, right? Add another point of damage to what I'm already doing. Take every bit of damage I can get now. Archdemon's no joke. Okay, so with buffs, my dexterity should be in like the 115, 120 range. Ish. Something like that.
Trap.
I'm really not loot whoring it right here, though. I'll pick some stuff up as I go, but if I see a chest just sitting there, I might go grab it. But other than that, good girl. How about the old sneaky sneak? See, we got another one? We do. Alright. The rest of this is just nothing now. Just one mage can make a crap ton of difference as far as the enemy's concerned.
Let's get started.
Yeah, I'll grab some stuff, you know, like if I see a glittering corpse right in front of me that, you know, something I've killed or whatever, I'll loot it, but other than that, there's actually a lot of loot in this fort, but unless you're gonna go on and play DLC and stuff, it's kind of serving no purpose. I mean, you're at the end of the game now. But honestly, this tower could give me 10,000 gold, and what am I gonna do with it? Now, Awakening was actually a pretty decent DLC. It's pretty cool. A decent amount of content. Pretty expensive though. It's about half the price of the game, actually. But it added some extra levels and some new items and stuff. There was even like you know, the Felon's Coat for the Rogue. There was like an upgraded version of that. Looked just like a Felon's Coat, and it was roughly the same stats. Everything was just a little bit more, you know. New daggers and new runes. Stuff like that. They had a neat rune system in the DLC. From what I remember, it's like you took blank runes, which is something they incorporated later, Dragon Age. You just took blank runes, and then you took old rune patterns and combined them, or took old runes and put them together, or something. Anyway, there's Sandal. For all the rest of these dead bodies from specifically just he's obviously been kicking some ass. You can tell by looking at his face. Anyway, so good place to drop off stuff. Enchant something if you need to real quick. Other than that, time to go. Last time I'll see Sandal for a while. Later, dude. When your survival skills way up there, you see enemies like 5 miles away. It's very convenient. I half-assed don't even remember which direction I was supposed to be going, honestly.
That wasn't so bad.
I have no problem with them giving me health potions, though, if they want.
Task complete. On to the next.
Okay, that's melee, melee, melee. Okay. Run into a different kind of horde this time.
Excellent.
I can block your shit now, dude. Like that? Gotta remember that I have Mark of Death. So these were all the old soldier barracks, or whatever.
Cursed creature.
Now this is an interesting one. But oh no, this isn't the one. Oh well, this one's interesting. This is do you have a problem with archers in Origins? These are all like of the tough variety. I mean, that's a lot of archers. Well over a dozen of them. Now there's one section coming up with some boss assassins. They're pretty cool, like a super boss version of those stupid punks that came up out of the ground on you back in the Kakari Wilds. Way early, like when you're level, what, like 2 or something? They jump up and try to backstab you and one-hit you. These guys are serious business. I gotta remember how to get there, though. I think this is it.
Right. Trap.
Genlock Assassin Acolyte. Whatever. There he is. Genlock Master Assassin. He's having a hard time hitting me. That's a good thing. If he can hit you, it's going to do some damage. You get a lot of criticals or whatever. I got marked for death too, punk. Take that. Oh, lots of traps. Oh, just standing in like half a dozen traps. Awesome. Take all that XP. Really? I'm trying to unlock that trap, or yeah, I'm trying to, disarm this thing that you're standing on. Win. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what's on my mind. And let's just turn right around and step in one. Okay, well, don't mind me. I'm just gonna chill here for a minute. Still chilling. So embarrassing. All right. I think we're semi-close to the end, actually. Red arrows are a good indicator that you might want to take a look ahead of you and see if there's a mage involved. Ogre. I don't think that's it here. I don't know what's at the end of this room. I'm really not sure. Friggin' emissary again. Yep. At least it's not of the boss variety. But he's going to sit back there while the ogres harass you and try to make your life miserable. Once you get him out, it's not a big deal. So I can honestly say, in my opinion, that Mana Clash is the strongest spell in the game, considering mages are the biggest threat in the game, in my opinion. At least playing this class. I mean, if everybody's running around with all kinds of magic protection up, then maybe it'd be something else. But as I build my party, magic tends to be the biggest, the main nemesis. All the debuffs and cursing and AoE stuff that they can do, fireballs and storms and you name it. Curse of Mortality is nasty. There she is. Big toothy lips herself. Well, it sucks to be that dude. Challenge accepted. I'm gonna be honest, I'm completely ignorant as to exactly what she's breathing out there. It's not fire, I don't think. Spirit damage? Well, probably. Well, I think, let's see, nature damage looks like a bundle of bees. And then fire damage is, of course, pretty obvious. Frost damage is, bluish. Gray, white, blue, whatever. I guess that'd have to be spirit damage that she's breathing out there. I don't know. I think you can call in allies here also from the same wheel. I think it's under sustained abilities, or maybe it's just on the wheel itself. Honestly, I haven't even bothered to look. I'm not in the habit of bringing them in. And I told myself I wasn't going to on this. So, like you say, if you're going for the trophy, then this would be how to pull that off. If I didn't have the trophy already, I would be bringing that right here. But, we're going to kick this dragon's ass all by ourselves. That's what we're going to do. what the hell did you fly all the way over there for in the first place, then? Ouch. Notice in dragon fights, I spend a good portion of the fight on my ass. Just over here somewhere. Don't mind me, I'm just over here. Laying down, you know, chilling. We're procuring the paralysis pretty often here. Decent percentage of time. I don't know what the actual chance is for that to trigger, but seems to be pretty often. Doesn't last long on bosses, only about a second, maybe two, but still. Stops them from whatever they're doing for a second. Okay, right, I'm tired of getting kicked all upside the face, you know? Just saying. Really. It's kind of hard to get my backstabs in if getting anywhere behind this thing gets me swatted with the tail and mule kicked. Alright, is she halfway? I think she's at the halfway point. Okay, now the key here, my best strategy, I guess you could say, not having to pause and not having to micromanage where your character is moving and blah 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 and all that other crap, okay? It's not how I play. Is to essentially keep moving. She's gonna do this, and these are like, it's kind of like a spirit version of the Firestorm, I guess, kind of. And then she does this AoE whirlwind type deal. And if you can move around from one place to another, a lot of times your party will follow you enough to get them out of it. Unless if it's just Alistair stuck in that, Wynn can keep him alive. But then it's kind of your job to keep them off of Wynn the best that you can. So if you see him making a beeline to your healers, because your healers are healing, you know, which draws hate to them, then try to go rescue them. But if you stay in position, playing as a rogue, like I said, the biggest weakness is magic. Getting stuck in that whirlwind thing, or getting hit with too many of those, it's best to keep moving, stay around. The dragon will kind of target you where you're at, and so once she does, you can just kind of go somewhere else and go fight over there for a while, and essentially hope your mages can stay alive. Hope they don't get caught in it for too long and get stuck trying to heal Alistair to the point where they can't heal themselves. You know, I'd really like to use this thing, but you just can sit there and spam it. Okay, I see. That's not fair. She's just gonna AoE the crap out of the catapult. That's cheap. Now she's summoned minions. We should see. Yeah, there's the red arrows. Let me go ahead and switch back and heal everybody up real quick. All right. Force them to heal. I don't need them getting knocked out now. We're already halfway through the fight. I don't feel like wasting the time. There you go. Since y'all refuse to move. If they refuse to move, whatever. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna just solo these mobs. But essentially now the dragon's worried about them. Between my two mages and Alistair, they can keep themselves alive, assuming I can do this over here. I don't think they throw mages in the mix up here on the roof. I don't recall emissaries ever spawning with these guys up here. We will get some, you know, the lieutenant level, like Hurlocks and Genlocks, that type of thing up here. And of course the Shrieks, they have a decent amount of health for a regular minion. Okay, yeah, there's a Genlock Alpha. Okay, we'll get some of these guys. I can handle these guys. Now, if they were throwing emissaries in up here too, I would have to have help. I'd have to have somebody over here throwing mana clash. For some reason, the dragon's just staying aggroed on my party back there, and all they're doing is essentially just staying alive. They're not actually having to fight anything. But that's cool. It's cool that that it's working like this, because I can come over here and get these guys out of the way. You think, well, how are you surviving? Oh, honestly, I'm not getting hit. You'll see the red numbers pop off me when they can actually hit me. And I think their percent chance is like 1, 2, maybe 3. I think the lieutenant level ones have like maybe a 5 or 10% chance to hit me or something. If even that, but These guys can't really do anything. Pretty cool, huh? That's funny. He's just in there swatting the shit out of me and he can't do anything about it. So I can't hit this guy. I'm gonna go back and pull my party out of the heat over there, but I'm kind of glad they're keeping the dragon's attention because essentially it's just, yeah, see, my mages are healing Alistair and that's it. I win. Alright, here we go. Oh, is Alistair just stuck? Okay, he's stuck. And, well, you know, I never said the AI was faultless. So they should have been following me all along there. And essentially, if they would have like they were supposed to, just follow me to that other platform to fight that other horde. And that's the dragon's backup. Now that the backup's out of the way, she'll summon, I think at a quarter health, she's going to summon a small group, and I'll take care of them while my party fights, you know, the dragon. No big deal. But had they followed me, I essentially would have done the same thing on the other side that I did over on this side. It's just kept moving. You know, like you see, they're capable of surviving in the firestorm. I'm really not. So as long as I stay out of the firestorm and keep the heat off of them, I can handle the mobs while they essentially just stay alive, type thing. And it's somewhat of a solo mentality, but you know, when you got a good synergy between your mages and your tank, then they should essentially be able to take care of themselves. Okay, I think we get another mob here, right? Not yet. There we go. All right. Okay. I was gonna say I thought another mob spawned. Okay, and this time will probably be just a little bit more of that, you know, move around a little bit. Actually, if everyone wants to follow me, we might be able to leave that other mob over there behind. That would be cool. Let's see. They can come up here and follow if they want to. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, there they are. Right. And I can one-hit just about all of them. Let's see. That's really what I'm not really worried about the dragon here. In fact, as long as I'm not right up on the dragon's feet, that dragon's going to be worried more about Alistair than anything. Or at least should be. He should be taunting the shit out of the dragon anytime the dragon turns on a mage. So, let me just run around here. Clean up the mobs. Once the mobs are all gone, we can concentrate on the dragon. So, hopefully I get the kill cam, and Alistair doesn't steal this one again. So that would just be insult to injury. He's already stolen the kill cam on, what, 2 dragons? Selfish bastard. And I think that's it. That's it for the mobs, or any mobs that are anywhere near us. Looks like we might have some off in the distance, but they don't know to come help, so that's fine. They can stay over there. If they come over here, I'll take care of them when they get here. Okay, it's going to be kind of hard to get this kill cam. She keeps kicking me all the way across the friggin' rooftop, man. Like I'm just a nuisance or something. Ouch. I'm determined. Damn it! That's right, Alistair. What do you think of this? Yeehaw! That's what I'm talking about, dude. You see this? Up here, showboating on Alistair. I'm mocking him while I'm riding the dragon. Alistair, you check this out. This is how you kill a dragon right here. Right. And that's it, guys. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, that epic moment that we've all been waiting for. My rogue picks up a 2-handed weapon that I couldn't carry the whole game. That is the one bit of dialogue you actually get from your character in a cutscene through the game is "Rah!" That's all that matters. Rah! Enough said. Damn. I'd chase their ass down. Kill them all from behind. It's gonna come back to eat you later if you don't.
It was over. With the archdemon dead, the Darkspawn horde quickly crumbled. Most fled back into the deep roads. They would remain a threat in the years to come. But the Blight had been ended before it had truly begun. Ferelden had been saved, and the entire kingdom rose up to joyously greet its new king and queen. Grey Warden stood redeemed, and a new age had begun. But at what cost?
My friends, we are gathered to celebrate those responsible for our victory. Of those who stood against the Darkspawn siege of Denerim, there is one in particular who deserves commendation. The one who led the final charge against the archdemon remains with us still. An inspiration to all she saved that day. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the hero of Ferelden, the first Grey Warden to defeat the Blight since Garahel 4 centuries ago. My friend, it is hard to imagine how you could have aided Ferelden more. I think it only appropriate that I return the favor. Is there any boon that you might request of Ferelden's king? If it is within my power, I will grant it. Now that's a very good point. I think we can begin with a monument here in Denerim, dedicated to the Grey Wardens who have fallen. Duncan, Riordan, all of them. And it is high time some scholars were collected to learn more about the Darkspawn. We'll face them again, with the dwarves as well as here. Let it also be known that the Arling of Amaranthine, once the land of Arl-How, is now granted to the Grey Wardens. There they can rebuild, following the example of those who went before them. What are your plans? Will you remain with the Grey Wardens?
I have a choice. Grey Warden, whether I like it or not.
That they do. I'm glad one of us is staying with them at least. There's a group of Ferelden citizens waiting outside to get a look at their hero. I suggest you make at least a brief appearance before they storm the gate. Just tell the guard at the door when you're ready.
There we have it, guys. There's two people I actually want to talk to real quick. I want to talk to my buddy from the beginning and my loyal girlfriend at the end. And then we'll get out of here. It's been a heck of a ride.
So, we made it. I'm impressed, aren't you? The odds were completely against one of us actually getting to the Archdemon. But of course you would make it. I knew you would. I guess Morrigan was telling the truth after all. About the ritual. The rest of the Grey Wardens haven't arrived yet from Morlaix. But they've already sent questions. What should I tell them? That a Maleficar saved you and then ran off to have my demon baby? That has a certain ring to it, right?
Right on, man.
I suppose I'll just keep that to myself. I can shrug and look stupid. It's a talent. Speaking of Morrigan, do you know where she went? I'm told she vanished right after the battle. No goodbyes or anything. I'm just concerned about what that ritual is going to cost eventually. At any rate, I can see Arleman giving me that look. More king stuff, I suppose. It can never wait. And if I don't get the chance some other time, thanks. For everything. I know, but I'm king now. And that means things will change. I guess we'll see. I'll let you get to your adoring public. They want to see the hero of Ferelden, and who am I to keep them waiting?
Alright, anyway. Where's my buddy at? Oh, he's around here somewhere. There he is. There's my girlfriend too, but first, my buddy from the beginning.
Glorious! You've really showed these humans something. Took down the Blight practically single-handed. I'm not just here to witness the whole human spectacle, however. The Assembly contacted me with a message for you. I guess they figured once a manservant, always a manservant. Ah, I don't mind. Thing is, we've both been given leave to return to Orzammar. Apparently, I went down with you. Seems I rise back up with you too. Seems Harrowmont is mighty grateful. He's declared you the heir to House Idukun. Full rights restored for us both. Not only that, but the Assembly is considering naming you a Paragon. A Paragon in our time. Not a bad change from an exiled murderer, no? Congratulations, my friend. You think you might head back home? To put House Idukun in order, if nothing else.
I think so, actually.
Good. And I would be proud to take up my old position if you'll have me. At any rate, I'll let the humans get back to their dwarf worship. Still makes me smile to hear them talk.
Right on, man. There she is.
So here we are. The conquering heroine has won the day, and now she takes her bow and exits the stage. A fine ending. Yes. Yes, she most certainly does. You know, I can't help now but think of my vision. The Maker sent me to help you, and look what you did. It's a miracle. It truly is. So, if I heard right, you'll be leaving soon. Any room for an extra body on your travels? Good. Because there's nowhere I'd rather be than at your side. At any rate, I should let you get back to your celebration before someone drags you away. I look forward to seeing you again afterwards.
There we have it. Alright, people, I want to let you know if whether you just showed up for this episode here at the end, or you've been along for the entire ride, that I really appreciate you watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. And we should get to Dragon Age 2 here pretty soon. Alright, thanks for watching. Y'all take care, and if you want to subscribe, click that button over my head. For all my videos, click the boxes on the left, and until then, y'all take it easy, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.